This is episode 0015 of Gary's Glorious Golden Nuggets. And today we are privileged to have Wren Anna Joy Funk. This lady is absolutely remarkable. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She started off in real estate for a few years. She bought her first house as a realtor. She then moved on, started doing multi-level marketing, came to a point in her life when she decided she'd like to be a dog groomer. She groomed dogs for quite some time. Then she became involved in America selling financial products, spent time doing that. And her daughter got involved in online enterprises and talked to Wren that maybe she ought to consider that. And so 2 years ago, she became an online entrepreneur. And how I came across Wren is she offers a spiritual awareness training program. And in 5 weeks, it was one of the most amazing things I've ever come across online. She has agreed to come on board and be a participant in this podcast. So, number one, thank you very much for joining, Wren. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's my honor. My honor.
It's always a privilege for me to have people coming on board, and you are special. You are a special person.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. What's the one thing you wish you had known before you entered into the online digital universe as an entrepreneur?
How much fun it actually is. At first, I was thinking answering this as saying nothing really, because I was thinking of it more on the line of understanding how business works. Business in general, it doesn't matter if it's online or it's traditional or physical, it's all the same. It takes a certain amount of money, time, energy, patience to build it. So in that respect, I wasn't really surprised about anything. But what I was surprised about in the online, as an online entrepreneurship, is it's fun. It is so much fun. You get to meet people from all over the world, across the ocean, and even right beside you, and you didn't even realize them. It is actually, it's more fun than traditional business because you're communicating with people all the time. I really wish I would have known that ahead of time, because I think I would have done it earlier. You think so?
I find that myself, that sometimes I say, I wish I had known how much fun I could have and how enjoyable the experience would have been. I would have started this 30 years ago.
Yes.
Well, I couldn't have done it before 2008. There was no such thing as podcasting then. It's very enlightening. And I think for most people, it's one of those things that, why didn't I start sooner?
Yes. And we were kind of scared because somehow we put it in our heads that it's different, with the technical stuff. But when you really think about it, anything that we start new, we have to learn brand new stuff anyway. So it's just a different kind of learning.
The thing that I think is amazing is the fact that you can have a business without a brick and mortar edifice. If you want to have a store, traditionally, you have to build a place or rent a place that's already built. You have to get the shelving in there. You have to lay out the floor. You got to buy all the merchandise. You got to put it up. You got to get insurance. That doesn't exist in the online world. And yet we're providing real value, real goods, real services in this world. And we are not limited by geography. I'm in the UK. You're in Winnipeg,
in
Canada. Yeah.
And don't forget, it's funner.
It's about as much fun as you can have with your clothes on. That's for certain around here.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. In this fun atmosphere of being online, what is the biggest failure that you've had, and what did you learn from it?
I don't really find failure, because failure seems so harsh. It seems like you're not going to make it. I see failure as a challenge comes up, or a setback. Because if you say failure, it's like a dead end. But if you say it was just a challenge or a setback, that means you're learning. You're going forward. You're moving forward to the next level. The biggest challenge I had was stop freaking out when the internet goes down, or your computer decides to push a button and it's supposed to do something. You had it all preset and it goes, I don't think so, not today, and then you go and you just don't freak out. But it's not a failure, it's just a learning curve.
It is a huge learning curve. There's no doubt about it. My philosophy is very parallel of yours. I asked the question about failure because that seems to be universally understood. But the truth of the matter is, I think the only way you can fail online is if you just quit.
Yeah.
There's a place on planet Earth that's central casting. It will always send you lessons that you have to learn. And it's no different on the online universe, that there are things you just have to learn to deal with. When you're learning them and you accomplish it, you're going to get another set of lessons. So just accept that. That's life. That's just the way life is. The online world, it is a fun place to be. There is no failure. It's just learning. Everything's a learning.
Correct. I remember when I was in Primerica, they would saying, well, you can't fail at this unless you quit. Well, I quit, but I don't think I failed. I just realized that it wasn't for me. So we have to be careful with that too. For anybody who's listening, if you're trying an online business, here's the thing though, there's so many different avenues, so many different things that you can do. Don't just ditch it right away. Try something different, stay on the online, because it may not quite be your cup of tea, if you will. And it's just like that. You will fail only if you just ditch the whole thing. But you don't fail if you go, this one doesn't sit right. Let's try something else. And do some research and find out what other kind of business you can do online, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I think that people have to understand that you have to find your niche in this online universe. What skills, talents, abilities that you think you can market to. And the path to online business is not a straight and narrow road. There's a lot of wandering paths, and you will find people who come in who say, I want to be an affiliate marketer. I want to sell somebody else's services to other people, which is fine. But a lot of people who walked in that said, well, actually, I'd rather sell a physical product to somebody. Or I have a book in me that I wrote and I want to get that out to the world and I want to talk about it. I want to, if you will, evangelize my philosophy that's in that book. And you just begin to discover that people are doing all kinds of things. And if you just look at YouTube, which everybody can access, you have people who just sit down and read pages from a book, and they have millions of views of people just sitting down, listening and following along as they read the entire book. That's a niche that people, so if you understand niche, you realize if you're interested in a subject, there's got to be at least 50 million people around the world who have the same interest, and you're going to satisfy a need. That's the basis of this whole thing.
Yeah. Just keep trying different things, but don't jump into it right away. Yeah. Give it a little bit of time.
I'm a podcaster, and the first thing that they tell you is get into podcasting, be on a 5-year plan. Just realize that your niche, people will have to find you, but they'll find you, but be on a 5-year plan. Be on a 5-year plan. Don't walk out. And that's the problem. Most people, 100,000 people last year started podcasting, and over 80% walked out after 90 days because they thought there would be massive amounts of people following them. Well, they didn't even know they existed.
And the other thing I hear too is often when I'm listening to people, they go, well, I haven't made any money. Okay, this is how it works. If you've never, ever had a business before, and it doesn't really matter if it's online or traditional, physical, it really doesn't matter. Business is business, folks. And you hear sometimes, oh, I made $10,000 in my first month of how many months before that you did prepared, and all the money that you put in, and the time and energy and effort and And now the truth of the fact is, what Gary was saying about having the 5-year plan, none of my business ever made a profit until 5 years. Yeah, I was making money, but everything went back into the business because I was still buying equipment, I was still advertising, I was still increasing my business. And so to come to thinking that, well, I've been in the business for 6 months, why am I not making any money? That's normal. It's normal. So just be patient and it'll come around, and have fun. Don't be so serious.
It's not a get rich quick scheme.
No, there is no such thing.
Yeah, there is no such thing. And oftentimes you find somebody that is advertising the fact that I found a product and I sold $160,000 worth on one day. Great. But what have you done since then? It's one of those things. So don't be fooled by people. There's a lot of charlatans out there. But the truth of the matter, this is a real job. It's real work. You have to put in the effort. You got to put in the hours. So what advice would you give somebody who says, I think I'd like to come online? Ren, how would I do that?
Research, take a look, see. And the business that I'm doing is as I teach people how to get to hear from their inner guide. And if you learn to do that, then your inner guide will actually guide you on what is going to be the best course of action for you. We all have that kind of intuition, if you will. When you're going online, you're checking out all these different companies that are saying, well, try me, do this, you'll learn that, do this, the next thing, and just kind of feel it through and see if maybe you got that idea, and find a company or an organization or an avenue where you're getting what you need. And the very important thing is if you can find a community, because you can't do it yourself. There's no such thing as a self-made person or a millionaire or a business person. There's always a community of assistance. My husband's got a little saying. He says, when you see a turtle on a fence post, you know it didn't get there on its own. It's true. There is no such thing as doing things on your own. So your first thing is research and listen. Because if you listen to your intuition, your inner guide, then he will give you, like you're going to push the button, you go, okay, I'm going to try this. And something inside you go, no, well, maybe I'll see the intro of it. And you'll be fine. That's the start. And don't be afraid if you made the mistake to back out. Just because you started something doesn't mean that you're stuck forever in it.
I couldn't agree with you more. So let's talk about resources. What were the best resources you come across?
Best resources is other business owners that are doing the same thing as you are. It's funny, when I was in the dog grooming industry, in my business was in a little town called St. Adolphe, Manitoba. In this little facility, there was about, I was counting just today, there was about 6 other dog groomers in the vicinity, and we were all doing really well. So when they say you're competitors doing the same thing, we're really not competitors, because everybody has their own niche. Everybody's got a way of doing something, and there's such a big population, even in one province or one area that you're living in. You can go to your so-called competitor and ask them for, hey, man, I've been trying to do this, this, and this. Do you have any idea? Do you mind, giving me some idea? And I'm telling you, about 95% will go, sure, try this, this, and this. Or, hey, do you want to go for a coffee? I'll give you an idea of how I made it. So basically, is your best resources are the businesses that are doing something similar to what you're doing. They'll be more than happy to talk to you. You may get the odd jerk. The business owner doesn't want to talk to you. Well, you don't really want to get their information anyway, because their business is not going to last that long because they're a jerk.
I will tell you that I have found that in the online world, that I have never come across a number of people who are in business, some of them parallel mine, others on other tracks, but they have been so generous in helping me, working with the technology, learning the technology, how to get things to advertise, sometimes just changing a camera angle. It's just things that they offer. And so finding a community that supports you has been really helpful to me. There's so many of them on Facebook. Just find a community and just get one that you click with. Don't try to force yourself into a group, because there's some groups that you just won't feel comfortable. But there are people that you hook. So there's tons of resources out there. Great. I love it.
One more thing, you just triggered a thought. These guys, I've actually had people online having a one-on-one Zoom meeting with me and spending, an hour or two giving me all this information, and it was out of their own time, out of their own pocket, didn't ask me for anything. It's just like, hey, if you need any more, just give me a call. It's really like that. It's truly like that.
That's my experience as well. Just so much generosity, so much
Mhm.
giving back. People who make it in this field really do feel blessed, and they want to help other people to achieve it. Because in the online world, it's like the pie is ever expanding. It's just getting bigger and bigger. And so there's plenty of room for another slice. Not to
Absolutely.
worry about it. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Who are the three people or three sources of information or the three influences that have helped you the most along your way as an online entrepreneur?
I first thought of about 20 of them, 25, 100.
I'm limiting you to three. You can group them if you want.
I will. Actually, what it was is when I went into my MLM, I was in the Amway business. My first big convention was in Richmond, Virginia, far away from Manitoba. I met 4 individuals, and 3 of them I'm still in connection with them, and they're always with me. And one I never met personally, but it was the information and the teaching was invaluable. The first person that I didn't get to meet was a gentleman by the name of Bill Britt, and amazing man, absolutely amazing man, and very to the point. No, he didn't have any crap. It was just like straightforward, told you the truth. This is how it is. I'll always cherish the things I learned from this guy. The other 3 was a gentleman I ended up marrying. I met him in Richmond, Virginia. And it's funny because he lived in the same school division as me. I never met him until I got to Richmond, Virginia. I married him, and he's been my confidant, encourager. Anything I tried, he'd go, yeah, you go for it. You can do it. Yeah, and it'll be 41 years in February the 9th. So it's been a good run. The third one is Kelly, my friend Kelly Ann Mattis. I met her there, and we just clicked. We've done many things together, and now she's going to be my partner. She is my partner in this online adventure. So it's really super cool. 40 years I've known her. Now the fourth one is an entity, and he's God. And that's where it was at Richmond, Virginia, that I actually realized who I was talking to since I was 6. There you go. And of course, he's with me all the time.
That's impressive. That's very impressive. Well, so let me ask you this. What myth would you like to debunk in regards to an online career?
That you're going to make money in the next day. As soon as you click the button, kapam, millions of dollars are going to be flying at you. It's just no. Also, that it's super easy. I'd like to know what is super easy. Nothing is super easy. There's always a learning curve, and you can do it. The biggest myth is you're not going to make money. There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. There's no such thing as making a whole bunch of money on your own, and that it takes years before you actually make a profit. And it doesn't matter if it's an online business or a traditional business.
That's all very true. There's so many myths about how rapidly money will come into you. The charlatans out there will make you think that you're right. You do this today, tomorrow you can retire. That's just not reality, because it's a real business. A real business takes time to build up. A real business takes time to get something out. Yeah, you might land on, if you're selling physical products, you might land on something that everybody finds the hot item of the day. But if you're in for the long term, you have to realize that you have to be very good at it. And people who do become very good in an online world do make a great deal of money, because they're not dealing with the cost of a physical structure. They're not dealing with insurances. They've leveraged their ability to do things through technology so that they can make money when they're sleeping. All that kind of stuff is true. But that is a big one. That is a big one. So many people just think it's a get rich quick scheme, and it just isn't. It just isn't. It is a legitimate, value driven process.
It's the wave of the future, folks.
Especially when you consider the fact that governments can lock down an entire society and all businesses except the ones they choose overnight.
Yeah.
Get online. Get online.
Get online, yes.
Yeah. You know, the thing I love about online business, especially like if you consider something like affiliate marketing as an example, you can have a guy in a penthouse in New York City and you can have a guy in the Sudan in a mud hut. As long as they have the internet and a laptop and they sell the same physical product, they're going to get paid exactly the same.
Absolutely.
And buyers really don't care where you are. All they care is that the product is as you advertise and it's delivered as you say it will be delivered.
Correct.
Yeah, that's all that really matters. And that is the truth of the matter. There are people who are deaf, who are online entrepreneurs. They cannot hear what you say, but they can read what you write. No physical limitations, no everything. Technology makes it such a balanced, level playing field. Everybody can play. It's all the same rules. Just be an ethical person and you'll do well.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you could step into my shoes, Wren, what questions should I have asked you that I didn't?
Yeah. How about, are you sorry you did this?
How about, are you sorry you did this, Wren?
No, not at all. I've had moments of exasperation, but again, no, not any difference from the time when I started other businesses. And it actually helped me realize that if you just sit back, relax, take it easy, and see, okay, what is it that I'm doing that's not quite right? And you'll be fine. No, I am not sorry I've gotten in the business. I am sorry about is that it took me this long to give it a shot.
We all have our regrets, don't we?
Yes, me too.
Wren, I imagine there's people who are listening to this who say, how can I get in touch with this lady? What's the best way for them to get in touch? And folks, I'm going to put it in the show notes so you don't have to try to find a pen or pencil right now. It'll be in the show notes.
Well, right now, I've got one avenue, and that is my email. It's ren.funk@icloud.com. And I'm that new. My subject is not new. I've been doing this one-on-one with people for 40 years, so that's not new, but this online gig, if you will, is new. So if you want any questions, please ask me in the email.
Wren, I always give everybody 2 minutes to say whatever they want to say to the world. And I've never known you to be short of words about your topics. So your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say thank you for listening and considering getting into an online business. And I certainly hope you give it a shot. And if you do, I'm going to give a little bit of a poke for my business. It's called Renew You. And what I do is something that nobody else dares to do, and that is to brace a subject that is always being shut down or never mentioned. That is, how do you actually get to hear from your inner guide? It's different. I am really different. Anybody that's taken my sessions, it's going to blow you away, and you're going to wonder like, oh, so I'm not nuts. I did hear those things. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. That's it. I'm out of words. There you go.
I'll just endorse it. I've been through Wren's course and it was so enlightening for myself. So enlightening. I can only encourage it. Online, you will find whatever you're looking for.
Absolutely.
If you're looking for the good, the praiseworthy, the delightful, the edifying, you'll find that. And if you're looking for those other things, you can find it there as well. So, folks, thank you so much, Wren. I love you. I so adore having you here. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll conclude this episode of Gary's Glorious Golden Nuggets. Please subscribe, share this podcast with anyone that you wish to share it with. There's a lot of people that are interested in being digital entrepreneurs, but they have a fear. They don't know how, they don't know where to start. Hopefully this podcast has given you so many golden nuggets today to give you the strength and the wisdom to go find your future in an online business. With that, we thank you and we'll catch you on the next show.